During World War II, thousands of Iowans enlisted or were drafted into military service. Only a few of those were members of the regiments that encountered one or more concentration camps and came to be known as Liberators. Later, you will hear from one of those Liberators. In the Iowa Jewish Historical Society's oral history collection, we have recordings with 6 such Iowans remembering what they experienced. IJHS is an award-winning organization founded in 1996 to collect, preserve, and store documents and artifacts that relate to Jewish Iowans. We use these to increase awareness about the Jewish people in Iowa and their history in the state. Over the course of the Historical Society's 25-year history, we've shared Iowa's Jewish heritage with thousands of students, families, researchers, community members, and business groups. We do this on site, in classrooms, at community events, and increasingly online. We are the primary organization preserving the history of the Jewish people in Iowa and promoting that history across the state, the nation, and the globe. As part of our mission, the Iowa Jewish Historical Society builds community understanding of Jewish history and culture through education programming. This series, Iowa Liberators Witness the Holocaust, is one such offering. In this 6-part series, you will hear excerpts from much longer interviews that were conducted with 6 Iowa Liberators. Dean Edward Lettington was the second youngest of 9 children born to an English immigrant father and a mother who was born in Clark County, Iowa. The family struggled through the Great Depression doing farm work. Dean says they never went on welfare, but always worked, and worked hard as laborers on other people's farms. Later, as a teen, he started working in a packing plant. He was proud of his family's work ethic, and he was proud to be a veteran of World War II. In the 1990s, he began speaking to school groups about his World War II experiences. In this first video clip, Mr. Lettington talks about his liberation experience at Dachau. In the second clip, Dean tells why he now tries to remember that day, after 40 years of trying to forget.
The prisoners were no longer there, right?
There were not supposed to be any more prisoners there, but I went through one of these confinement areas.
What did it look like?
And it was like, as a kid on the farm, a building such as we would confine pigs in. Through bad weather, to have the mother pigs and the baby pigs, the farrowing houses, so to speak. And I was quite outraged to see this. So the second building I went to, I didn't open the door, I kicked it open. I was just, my adrenaline was just outrageously high. As I kicked the door open at the far end, I seen a movement. And, oh my God, what was that? It looked like a person. And sure enough, it was. It was a little person that was just nothing but skin and bones. I mean, it just a horrifying sight. Of course, at the time, I said, a little old man, but I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure it was a young man. And so I notified authorities that this fellow was there. And so they came and got him and gave him aid. Outside this building, then there was kind of a complex. And there again, there's a couple of the pictures that I brought with me. I had more, but just taking them back to try and forget, and different members of the family would look at these pictures, and somehow or another, I don't have as many as I did have. But anyway, I don't begrudge anyone taking these pictures because they must have taken them because they wanted to illustrate what had gone on. But there was a group of prisoners in the yard, which they had shown signs of being shot. But I looked for the blood. I couldn't see much blood. So then there was another building over here where there was human carcasses stacked up several high with lime spread over them to control odor. And then there was another site where they'd taken the bodies and laid them on railroad irons and burnt the carcasses and the skulls and that, which was horrifying. And then there was another big building with a high ceiling. I don't know if we didn't have anyone to describe to us what confinement was what, but this big building, it was a cement block building, and later I've come to the conclusion that this must be the area that they gassed the prisoners in. So it was a horrifying experience that nobody ever better tell me that it didn't happen. But I can't let it go untold. As I mentioned, I've talked to a couple of schools. I've been invited to a couple of schools, and my most recent was a junior and senior high school class at East High School here in Des Moines, and part of this program that they had set up at school was to show they wanted to express appreciation to the veterans in the hospitals. Mm-hmm. And these young men and women wrote thank you notes to be passed out on the food trays at the Des Moines VA Hospital. And they mentioned the fact that they'd had a World War II veteran speak to them and how much it meant to them. So, Lord willing, and the desire, I'll be there. I'll continue as long as I can to illustrate that the Holocaust did happen.
His military service, Dean stayed active in veteran affairs. He had volunteered for many years at the VA hospital in Des Moines, including 5 years of making popcorn for vets and visitors. He was an active VFW member. Dean was on one of the first honor flights from Iowa to visit the World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C. He served on the committee for the World War II Freedom Memorial, which is now at the state capitol. After he died in 2013, his memorial donations went to the Gold Star Museum at Camp Dodge. To hear more of Mr. Lettington's 1995 interview, more recollections by these Iowa Liberators, or if you are interested in other recordings in our oral history collection, contact IJHS Director Sandy Yoder or Curator Sarah Carlson to make arrangements. Call during business hours, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, at 987-0899, extension 216, or send an email to ijhs@jewishdesmoines.org. If you want more information about IJHS or the Jewish Federation of Greater Des Moines, you can visit the website at www.jewishdesmoines.org. Thank you for watching and remembering or learning some history today.